Hello, this is World University and Schools weekly business meeting, WUAS news and question and answer with an agenda. To come, I'm going to change places with putting the sun at my back. Hang on a second. Greetings. This is World University and Schools weekly business meeting, news and question and answer on Monday, January 26th, 2026 at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. I think it's 10:30 p.m. India time, with an invitation to join from wherever you are in the world. This open conversation, this opportunity to ask questions or share ideas about how World University and School, building on MIT OpenCourseWare in 7 languages and on Wikipedia, Wikidata with approximately 342 active language communities in the world, might be of use to you learning-wise, education-wise, teaching-wise. If, for example, you would like to teach something to your YouTube video channel and add it to a wiki subject at World University and School, an academic wiki subject or an open wiki subject, and in your language. And potentially, if you would like to create also a wiki subject about something you love, about something you're interested in deeply or have expertise in, and would like to share that expertise. Share a book you've written, share a website you find helpful, share a video channel that's relevant to what you might like to teach about or what you might like to learn about as well. So as we wait to see if people will join this open WUaS news and question and answer, and I'll post the recording at the close in about an hour to World University and Schools active YouTube channel, currently youtube.com/Scott McLeod World University /videos. So this is working on the agenda from that I posted last Monday, January 19th, 2026, leaving a week for it to season, to get your ideas and thoughts and feedback in any number of ways, via social media, via email, via conferences you hold, or things like that. Dear World University and School community, Universitians, Roland Vogel, and Peter Norvig, all, greetings and Happy New Year from World University and School, building on CC4, Creative Commons 4 licensed, share, adapt, but non-commercially, MIT OCW in 7 languages. And here, this is the website address for the current translated courses in about 6 languages at MIT OpenCourseWare, opencw.aprende.org/courses/translated-courses. And see also a previous iteration of MIT OpenCourseWare with about 38 departments that they put together out of MIT OpenCourseWare. And that website address is opencw.aprende.org/courses. So Greetings and Happy New Year from World University and School, building on CC4 MIT OCW in 7 languages, and Wikipedia Wikidata in approximately 342 active languages. World University and Schools continue to plan online free to students, bachelor, PhD, law, MD, IB high school, or similar for 16 to 18-year-olds, potentially. AAAS, Associate of Science, 2-year undergraduate degree, and master's degrees in each of all 200 countries and in their main languages. And as WUaS proceeds with accreditation, and in a Grow with Google WUaS program too. World University and School WUS's next WUS weekly business meeting, news and Q&A, meets on Mondays. Next on Monday, January 19th, 2025, at 9 a.m. Mexico. So this is actually the 26th. So meets today. At 9 a.m. Mexico time, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Mountain time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, US and Canada, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 10:30 p.m. India time, and 1 a.m. Tuesday the next day, Hong Kong time. But please check your time converter from any of your 24 time zones to join this open World University and School business meeting. And Zoom URL is below. So here is the agenda and news in this set of blog posts for 1/26/26 today. And it begins with Livingston Range Glacier National Park. So in both blogs, posted last Monday, January 19th. All the best abolitionally, best Steam Creative Commons licensed open courseware wiki at World Univ and SCH. WUS abolition movement is growing to protect people. And see the blog post beginning Lotus, Kamala Padma, in my blog from July of 2025 in these regards, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/2025/07 lotus-kamalapadma.html. And in WUS seeking to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet, and potentially to facilitate free universal education among speakers of all 7,000 languages, and to end poverty worldwide. Friendly NTF, NTQ, Quaker, greetings, yogically, Scott GK McCloud. And the recording again will be posted at youtube.com/@Scott McCloud World University /videos. So further, on the first wing of World University and School, the World University and School wing, the first of 2 WUAS wings, a 501c3 or similar nonprofit, CC licensed best Steam open courseware wiki World Univ and SCH wing. That URL for a beginning website is worlduniversityandschool.org. The minutes from January 19th monthly business meeting as video minutes, as a video recording, are posted in the blog from last week on Monday, which is Livingston Range Glacier National Park, and the minutes for the week before that, January 12th, beginning Roggeveld Mountains, South Africa, are also posted as video minutes. Check them out. Agenda item 1. How best to add all the 200 countries' main and official languages, Wikipedias, in those languages, in world universities, to their WUAS World University and School nation states and languages wiki pages. So a set of Twitter. So for example, how best to add, for example, Tamil language Wikipedia in Tamil, and that Wikipedia in Tamil encyclopedia URL is there in the blog from last week, to India World University and School at India wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/India. So in Tamil language, and the Tamil language WUaS planned in the Tamil language itself. So how to add Wikipedia in Tamil to India World University and School and Tamil language World University and School, both of which are only in English so far. And check out the blog posts about this in Raghaveld Mountains. So one approach would be with Wikidata manifest Fabricator, the Fabricator platform, which is used for, I think, Wikidata, Wikimedia coders who are developing Wikidata further as a backend structured knowledge database. But there are many others, and World University and School is seeking to figure out how to add, integrate, interoperate, say, Tamil language in Tamil from Wikipedia to our Tamil language World University and School, and at India World University and School as one of 22 official scheduled languages. And further in these regards, possibly in anticipation of even a wiki realistic virtual Earth that we can all add, where we can all add to Google Street View with time slider, text in the sidebar. And for Ethno Wiki Virtual World Graphy, which is a new method in social science theory and science theory and method as well, for example, in a virtual world, so Ethno-Wiki Virtual World Graphy, ethnography is an interpretive practice of peoples. Wiki means fast in Hawaiian, and think Wikipedia, where potentially many people can edit quickly a Wikipedia article. And the virtual world are emerging in many, many different ways. Think Fei Li's developments in these regards. How to facilitate possibly wiki adding to a realistic virtual Earth. Think Google Street View with time slider, and in hashtag text in the sidebar, and for Ethno-Wiki Virtual World Graphy. And even with Google AI and Gemini models on laptops, and including Apple laptops, so not just Windows laptops, but especially Apple laptops for their graphics capabilities, for example. Agenda 2, item 2, developments in Canyon 94516. No one is above the law. Dear Senator and former Harvard Law Professor Elizabeth Warren, Peter Norvig, Google AI Director, regarding iterating Google IT and law enforcement AI and IT2, Byron Hahn, MD, PhD in Moraga, nearby to Canyon 94516, and friend from Reed College since 1979. Conrad Alt, a Reed and Harvard Law alum based in Berkeley and Portland, Oregon. Sometimes I think John Sargent, MD at Tufts Medical Center in Boston, and MIT alum especially. Ed Smythe, MD, KP, affiliated with Kaiser Permanente, Northern California, and potentially the state of California, I think, in Berkeley. And Pin, Sid Mazumdar, and Health and Human Services in the U.S. federal government in the greater Philadelphia area, all. Friendly greetings, and I hope this email finds you well. How are you? I'm still van camping, basically since March 2025, when I leased a great 2025 Toyota Sienna Woodland minivan, and taking cold swimmer showers as well. And I left Asylum in Pittsburgh, first on December 10th, 2024, to head west to a newly safe, in my analysis, SF Bay Area then. And then again on 12/31/24, December 31st, 2024, I rented a U-Haul van from Pittsburgh, PA, to move my things west to the San Francisco Bay Area. and have been traveling since. Thanks to Ed Smythe, MD, and John Sargent, MD, for your precipitation of my moving into a newly safe, vacant, with deed, I think, property deed, 670 Ridgecrest Road, Canyon, California, 94516, beginning in March of 2022. How is this developing, please? And potentially with US federal law working with state of California law effectively in new ways. I'm seeking to move forward into there as soon as possible, still, before Sunday, February 1st, 2026. Even, when might I move, please, to a newly safe vacant with deed, 670 A Ridgecrest Road, Canyon, 94516. And regarding also, I think, thanks for tweeting this on January 12th, 2025, US Senator Elizabeth Warren, at Sen Warren. Donald Trump called me today. It's long past time to deliver lower costs for working people, and the Twitter URL. So I have posted this in my blog post from January of 2026, beginning Tsuga canadensis eastern hemlock in scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/2026/01/Tsuga canadensis eastern hemlock.html. Read further there. Agenda item 3, Stanford Law Rock Center. Recent panel presentation there, Lawyering in the Age of AI, Inside Meta's Approach to AI, IP, and Litigation. Email to the 3 panelists, 2 of whom work for Meta, and 1 in a private law firm does work for Meta, with an overview of Meta and Facebook. How is it possible to explore collaboration in some of these regards, and regarding Meta's 3 billion plus monthly end users on Facebook and social media, and WUaS seeking to code for all 8 billion people on the planet for free universal education and to end poverty, potentially with Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency. And you can get this now on your smartphone daily at mindpi.com/SGKMAC with an invitation code using SGKMAC. And read further this email to the panel's presenters, the lawyers, in the Stanford Law Rock Center presentation on lawyering in the age of AI, Inside Meta's Approach to AI, IP, and Litigation, in my blog post from January of 2026, beginning Botas Pocket Gopher Thomimis Botai. So scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/2026/01/Botas Pocket Gopher Thermomis Bowtie. Agenda item 4. You're with curious how getting this 2025 Sienna Woodland minivan and getting license plates on it might bring Toyota Palo Alto what their role in state of California law enforcement is regarding potentially my moving into a newly safe Canyon 94516 with the WUaS Academic Medical Center and with US and state of California law processes working effectively in new ways. Read further about this in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/2026/03 Karoo, South Africa. So agenda item 5, fill people in LinkedIn. Someone connected with me, namely Sven Nyholm. I received Phil Papers email from this philosophy platform. Was it from David Chalmers? With some of Sven Nihilm's writing, a philosophical introduction it was titled. And so I contacted him and with some questions regarding what are best introductions to philosophy itself. For example, Quine's Web of Belief, a philosophical friend once suggested. And could one read Sven Nihilm's book, A Philosophical Introduction to AI, I think, as an introduction to philosophy, even, and read further about this in blog posts from January 2026, beginning Karoo, SA, South Africa. 5B. So further, in terms of introductions to philosophy, and for, say, first year undergraduates, in what ways could these four David Chalmers Twitter X posts even become a whole new kind of introduction to philosophy, the philosophy of science even, and regarding consciousness and the mind-body questions and mind-body questions, such that one might simply dive into philosophical consciousness questions, and partly with video, and see more about this in my blog post, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/2026/03 Karoo sa.html. Agenda item 6. So this is a response to a woman who's living in Australia, originally from India, who was looking for ways to teach grades 1 through 5 scientific thinking. And I responded to her email in LinkedIn, her message in LinkedIn. What about scientific thinking through stories, reflection, and hands-on exploration? Regarding her beyond box approach and free MIT open courseware centric wiki world university and school with a Nobel Peace Prize, a Nobel Chemistry Prize winner, Omar Yagi, YouTube video from the Nobel Prize banquet titled Omar Yagi YAGHI Nobel Prize banquet. And at the 30-second mark, where he says something like, my journey began at the age of 10 when I discovered drawings of molecules in my school. So could Aisha Bengali in Sydney, Australia, inspire her grades 1 through 5 with drawings of molecules, for example, and even with such YouTube videos by Omar Yagi. Hi, Aisha, I wrote to her. Thanks for sharing. While free MIT OCW centric courses, which World University and School is building on from home, are planned in all 200 countries and in their main languages, and has an university and secondary education focus. The following comes to mind as possibly of interest to you as examples and models of scientific thinking, which even elementary education kids might be inspired by, and in Australia and India too. So the Omar Yagi Chemistry Nobel 2025 Nobel Prize banquet video. That said, Free World University and School is developing a physical, digital, realistic virtual Earth. And see Peter Norvig's incredible Tulify AI WUaS article and regarding a realistic virtual Earth, titled Revolutionizing Education with Machine Learning and AI, World University in School, for everything. So a realistic virtual Earth for everything. And think Google Street View with Time Slider and Wiki to, and to which kids will be able to add, to create and add to. For example, they would be able to draw molecules potentially on a 52-inch smart screen TV that was part of a realistic virtual Earth, where the molecules might interoperate. That the molecules that they might draw might interoperate with the world, the realistic virtual Earth itself in a smart classroom. And to complement, for example, the pen and paper regarding Aisha's comment or on her website about fancy gadgets and instruments. Yes, I think pen and paper will still be an important way to learn. So will seeing models of molecules at age 10 for Omar Yagi. But these will be complemented with digital resources in multiple ways, including a realistic virtual Earth. And in a learning and teaching conversation at any age, let's explore some of these questions further in email. I'd be interested in your thinking regarding free MIT OCW-centric Wiki World University and School on our free WUaS degree side. Bachelor Law, MD, PhD, IB High School or similar for 16 to 19-year-olds, Associates of Science and Masters of Science degrees. And as World University and School in a Grow with Google WS program too, proceeds with accreditation. And at Australia, World University and School, from accessible from nation states, wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/nation states, where each country will have a major world-class online research university from home, accessible from here. And India World University and School, planned in all 22 scheduled languages there. Just emailed you. So brainstorming further, how could you and kids at the possible University of Sydney affiliated grades 1 through 5 school or your Beyond Box project and classroom play. So in your Beyond Box project for grades 1 through 5 for classroom play learning space, begin to do science. And by heading into a physical, digital, realistic virtual Earth here, and start to write their names, for example, which Aisha shows on her website as approaches to learning on the digital walls. And the Beyond Box, her website, shows this at beyondbox.org/about. And with parallels to writing with pen and paper at that age. So write on smart screens, write on pen and paper. And even to begin to create their own digital twins as personal tutors. And with potentially an approach to digital twin large language model generation from AI, from an unfolding age-appropriate science conversation, and see the Google Maps link regarding the University of Sydney, where I could imagine Aisha has a possible room or office or space with her the Beyond Box project. Warm regards, Scott. Aisha Bansali said, hello, Scott. Thank you for connecting. I am Dr. Aisha Bansali, Bansale, founder of Beyond Box. My work focuses on helping children develop scientific thinking through stories, reflection, and hands-on exploration, especially in the early years. I'm working on Humans of Science, a program that introduces children to scientists as thinkers and problem solvers. It's being explored as a foundational inquiry layer in progressive schools and innovation labs. Given your long experience in education leadership, I would genuinely value your perspective and would be glad to share a brief overview if you feel it may align with your vision of learning. Warm regards, Aisha. And read further about this in the blog post beginning India's blue Vanda orchid in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/2026/01 India's blue Vanda orchid.html. Agenda item 7. How best can World University and School grow a wiki realistic virtual Earth 2 and a realistic virtual Earth for biology, for bioengineering, for synthetic biology, and regarding HTGAA 2025, How to Grow Almost Anything Synthetic Biology course 2025, in which I was a global listener, and the HTGAA How to Grow Almost Anything Synthetic Biology course beginning now in 2026. So further, how best in HTGAA 2026 can at World Univ and SCH grow aging reversal genetics WUAS course, like a hashtag MIT OCW course, and in hashtag Wiki Realistic Virtual Earth 2, and a hashtag Realistic Virtual Earth for biology, and a hashtag Realistic Virtual Earth for bioengineering, and a Realistic Virtual Earth for synthetic biology, which are all main focuses for, I think, HTGAA 2026. How best can World Univ and SCH grow a wiki realistic virtual Earth? So this is a set of Twitter posts for biology, for bioengineering, for synthetic biology, and physical digital, hashtag WUAS wet lab experiments regarding hashtag Tulify AI WUAS, and the great Peter Norvig article, Revolutionizing Education with Machine Learning and AI, mentioning a realistic virtual Earth for the first time other than WUAS. And also regarding the blog label HTGAA in my blog from scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/search/label. So how could we at World University and School develop a realistic virtual Earth to interoperate with actual wet lab experiments that might go on in this class in HTGAA 2026 at MIT for the course for Harvard and MIT registered students, and also for committed listeners and global listeners. And David Sun Kong, PhD, the faculty lead, tweeted a couple of weeks ago, I'm excited to announce that the application for the 2026 edition of our Media Lab, MIT Media Lab and Global Synthetic Biology course, How to Grow Almost Anything, is now open. Application link in thread. And see the blog post beginning scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/2026/01 India's blue Vanda orchid. Agenda item 8. Twitter. Set of tweets about an open restorative yoga class on Saturdays. And as we may live to 150 and well beyond, and regarding yoga and longevity genetics conversation. Hashtag for Twitter and LinkedIn, mostly Twitter, hashtag yoga and longevity genetics convo, hashtag WUS yoga. So how can we develop a yoga and genetics conversation further out of a restorative yoga class, in part on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Pacific time? Something I've been exploring over these past few weeks, and see the blog post beginning scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/2026/01/Nymphaea Carolea Blue Lotus Twitter. Agenda item 9. George Church, all. How could I code the beginnings of the IF1 protein gene molecule with physical digital, the Happy Atoms kit, eventually interoperable in a hashtag realistic virtual Earth for molecules in G Street View with time slider at G molecule view, and in a hashtag realistic virtual Earth for yoga, asana 2, where George Church retweeted Michael David Forrest's Twitter post about, or his bioarchive paper suggesting that IF1 protein controls aging rate. So, number of questions here. How could we start to play with the Happy Atoms kit to make molecules such as this molecule that Michael Forrest and George Church have tweeted about that may control the aging rate? And with the Happy Atoms kit, which allow one to use physical objects to build molecules, which then can become digitized, how to begin to play with them in a realistic virtual Earth for molecules for aging reversal, and also how to develop a yoga conversation as part of this, a yoga genetics conversation. So how, for example, to develop yoga genetics for higher, faster, stronger, more supple with yoga ethics are interesting questions that World University and School is exploring about. So further, read more about this in my blog posts beginning Nymphaea, Carolea, Blue Lotus, Twitter from January 2026, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. Agenda item 10. Further along the lines of aging reversal genetics, how do OSKM and Yamanaka factors work specifically on nerves in human bodies? And yes, Gemini AI gave an excellent response, and glad to have found how this might work. How we might model this in a realistic virtual Earth for genetics is another set of questions. Have also been wondering how to add factual corrections to Google AI and Gemini. And I was wondering in these regards, next agenda item, about when the Valley Fire was, and having gotten an article in September of 2026, I think, 2016, just after my first book, Naked Harbin, Ethnography, Hippies, Warm Pools, Counterculture, Clothing Optionality, and Virtual Harbin was published, suggesting to me, and I misrecalled it, that the Harbin Fire happened in September of 2016. And I asked Gemini about this, and I wondered how to make this correction. But then further, I looked up in the Internet Archive, the article itself. I have a paper copy of the article in storage. And the newspaper article was indeed from 2015. So the Valley Fire happened. Actually, the newspaper article was from in the San Francisco Chronicle on the burning of Harbin Hot Springs was from 2016, but the title was something like "It Happened a Year Before." So interesting that while I tried to make a factual correction to Gemini AI, I couldn't. And then I looked up further, and I had misrecalled it. But subsequently, I have found an article by MD in San Francisco who I asked Gemini AI if she was an expert in genetics, and Gemini AI said she wasn't. But then I found an article from December of 2025 saying she about genetics and her specialty, and she and this when I pointed this out to Gemini AI, Gemini AI said, "I stand corrected." Great. It is possible to make corrections, factual corrections with Gemini AI and Google AI, and interesting that they've coded for this in their large language models. Agenda item 11. How might genetic drug therapies for aging reversal and extreme longevity, for example, such as OSKM and Yamanaka factors, work specifically on nerves in human bodies and mice bodies? And I asked Gemini AI this and got a great reply. And we'll look to add this further to the Aging Reversal Genetics Wiki subject page at World University and School. And how to model this at World University and School, hashtag WUaS model, in a hashtag realistic virtual Earth for genes. Twitter post about this and read more about this in the blog post beginning. Nymphaea carolea, Blue Lotus Twitter from my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/2026/01. Agenda item 12. This is exploring further for outreach at World University and School, potentially a store within a store model at World University and School, WS Educational Services Stores, WS Corporation, and for outreach to students. So a store within a store model at World University and School. Ask Gemini about this. Excited for hashtag WS store within a store model. And a hashtag Walmart WUaS collaboration regarding the hashtag World Univ and SCH store name, and per hashtag Gemini AI Ray WUaS stores hashtag. And Gemini AI gave me an incredible reply: Walmart WUaS global partnership vision. Read more about that in the blog from last Monday, January 19th, 2026. A set of Twitter posts about this too. The blog posts that have this in it are Begin Roggeveld Mountains essay, 11, 12, 26, 11, 19, 119, 26. It's from January 9th, 2026. And with Walmart in 19 out of about 200 countries, could WUS begin to develop with Walmart initially in just 2 or 3 of these countries and in their main languages, and for WUS outreach to students, as we then seek to grow into all 181 further countries? So we would like to be in 200 countries, and Walmart's in about 19 out of 200. How can we grow our store within our store model with potentially for outreach for WS students? Walmart attracts many, many people. They hire something like 2.1 million, 2.3 million people worldwide. World University and School would be very interested in exploring how to make, with our possible WS educational services stores for books, computers, robotics, hospital technologies, groceries, possibly in the store within the model. So within Walmart, our potential products or goods available in such a way that they facilitate outreach. WS is an authorized reseller of 3 Lego robotics kits, such as Lego Spike Prime robotics. I don't think Walmart is an authorized reseller of Lego Spike Prime robotics kits. Could World University and School, WS Educational Services stores, highlight Lego Spike Prime robotics kits in our stores within Walmart's to attract students potentially who could matriculate in for free WUaS degrees by working through a WUaS home robotics course with Lego Spike Prime robotics kits that they purchased from the WS stores within a store, and for or toward free WS degrees from home. So read further about this in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com/2026/01, India's Blue Vanda Orchid. So moving to the other wing, the WS Corporation side of things, the second of 2 WUaS wings, a for-profit general stock company legal entity in the state of California, the WS Corporation WS Press, academic press planned in 7,159 living languages with machine learning. Agenda item A, WS Corporation, store within a store model, World University and School in Walmart in all 19 Walmart countries. And see blog posts on both blogs, beginning Ophrys opifera bee orchid store within, on World University and School.blogspot.com's blog from January 2026, and my blog from beginning with the same thing, Ophrys apifera bee orchid, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com from 2026 January. So I reached out further about this, having learned the names from a Yahoo article that came onto my smartphone of 3 CEOs at Walmart, and regarding potentially questioning whether it might be possible to develop a store within a store model with World University and School in Walmart's. The CEOs, the incoming CEO of Walmart USA is John Furner. The former CEO of Walmart International is Catherine McClay. And I think the incoming CEO of possibly Walmart International may be Chris Nicholas. John Furner is an American, I think. Catherine McClay is an Australian, and Chris Nicholas may be a British citizen. So created a set of Twitter posts and LinkedIn posts in these regards to reach out to these CEOs. First, the Twitter post, excited for hashtag WS store within a store model, store within the store, at World University and School at WS Press, and a hashtag Walmart WUS collaboration regarding the hashtag World Univ and SCH store name, and per hashtag Gemini AI, Ray WUAS stores. Could we have our World University and School store name on our store within a store within Walmart? I'm thinking Subway restaurants do so in Walmarts by way of comparison. And asked this of Google's Gemini AI and got a great response. Read further about it. So so further, and with Walmart in 19 out of about 200 countries, could WS begin to develop with Walmart initially in just 2 or 3 countries, in the main languages, and for WS outreach to students too, and for hashtag WUS degrees online from home, building on MIT OCW in 7 languages, and in a hashtag Grow with Google WUS program. And 2 great Gemini AI responses in these regards. And further, this is all on the WS Corporation side, agenda item A. And even with hashtag WUAS robo delivery trucks. Think robo taxis in San Francisco from Waymo. Hashtag WUS robo delivery trucks. And hashtag humanoid robot. Hashtag delivery robots. With hashtag Toyota humanoid robotics. Hashtag large behavior models. Hashtag LBMs, like hashtag LLMs, large language models, and in a hashtag realistic virtual earth for robotics. And in the capital cities, in all of Walmart's approximately 19 countries, and importantly, with Toyota service centers in each of these cities too. So what are the and possibly with Walmart San Leandro on Hesperian Boulevard, San Francisco East Bay, for a prototype WUS store in a store in the US and for WUS outreach, or not? That's a possible question. So, what are the 19 countries that Walmart is in out of 200? Walmart operates more than 10,500 stores and clubs in 19 countries worldwide: North America, United States, Canada, Mexico; Central America, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua; South America, Chile; Asia. So, so Central America, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua; South America, Chile; Asia, China, India; Africa, South Africa, Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, and Zambia. Walmart also operates e-commerce websites in many of these regions and maintains a significant global sourcing network. And see agenda item A and especially agenda item C from weekly business meeting from the previous week, beginning Laramie Mountains, Wyoming, regarding store within a store model and Gemini AI's incredible responses too. So I reached out on LinkedIn as well in these regards, and haven't heard back from them yet, but hoping to keep the communication going in some of these regards further into the future. Regarding beginning WUS educational services stores, possibly with a store within a store model, possibly in communication with incoming Walmart CEO John Furner and former Walmart CEO Caitlin McClay and CEO Chris Nicholas. So that's the WUS weekly business meeting for this week. And it's January 26th, 2026. I'll post the video recording of today's WUS weekly business meeting to today's blog post, beginning Lewis Range Glacier National Park from 1/26/26, and to last week's blog post, beginning Livingston Range Glacier National Park, Montana, as well as to the two active Twitters, twitter.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH, twitter.com/WUAS Press, and also to YouTube, of course. First, I'll post the video recording, and also in other ways to other Twitter posts for World University and School. So until next week, February 2nd, 2026. 26th, Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. If you have questions about World University and School or would like to join this WS News and question and answer, let me know at president@worlduniversityandschool.org. Until next week, bye for now.